What is the crack, everybody, and welcome to my video where I got the platinum trophy for Spyro 3. And it looks like they brought something back from the first game, because again, Spyro just has to save the dragon world by collecting all the dragon eggs, as they've been abducted by some weird dragon lizard thing, who's also a sorceress. She also has an assistant who has no clue what the Christ she wants with the eggs. Maybe she thought she was going to make omelets with them or something. And of course, all the eggs are scattered throughout all different worlds that Spyro has to go get. And of course, this leads me into my first trophy, the Villa Bully. And how I managed to get this was just by defeating all the cowardly Rhinox while I was protecting some small Italian lions, a sentence I thought I would never say. And the characters do return from the last game, including the absolute pain in the ass himself, Hunter. And of course, somehow he finds a way to find eggs but not give them to us until we do something for him. And of course, another pain in the ass is back, Moneybags, and he charges us to get our next trophy, which was called The Money's in the Bag. And how you get this trophy is by paying to free Sheila the kangaroo, who's also a brand new character. And guess where she's from? Australia. I know it's hard to believe, a kangaroo from Australia. Who would have guessed? You also get to play as Sheila, and while playing as Sheila, I got my next trophy called Stomping Target Practice. And to get this trophy was quite easy. All I had to do was stomp all the treasure chests I found. While Spyro's in the middle of a race, I got my next trophy called Star Power. To get this trophy was quite simple. All I had to do was go through 4-star speed boosts in one lap. You just gotta be fast like Sonic. I don't know why as well, but they decided to give Sparks a very annoying voice, and listening to him was just scrolling. I mean, just listen to this, like. And speaking of annoying, controlling this thing had to be one of the biggest pain in the arses ever. The controls are just absolute shit. But what's not shit is getting this next trophy called a key move. And all I had to do to get this trophy was find a magic key that unlocks a locked magic chest. This jump was so good that even a basketball player from the NBA would find this a good shot. It reminds me of that Leroy Jenkins thing. And speaking of shots, the next trophy that I managed to get was Bye Bye Bluto. And I got this for defeating the robo-nuclear shark Bluto. I don't know why it had to be nuclear, but that's what it says it was. I didn't feel too bad about beating Bluto, but I do feel like these lads have to get some sort of punishment for just robbing shit. And they did crash it as well, so who is in the wrong here? But they do help me get this next trophy called Moving Up in the World. And how I acquire this trophy is by launching the transport balloon in Sunrise Spring. The balloonist got sick of Spyro jumping on his face, so he's not here this time. Sent him on the topic of someone being annoyed with Spyro. This is the sorceress, the dragon lizard thing. Don't know what she is. She sends a monster after me, and this gives me my next trophy called Buzz Off. And how I got this trophy is for defeating the mini boss Buzz with the help of my new friend Sheila. The guy in the cannon has main character vibes coming off him. Little does he know he's just an NPC. And with the help of a cannon, I managed to get my next trophy called Cannon Fodder. And how I got this trophy is by destroying 6 icy things with a cannon in the level of Icy Peak. No cannon this time, but using rockets, I got my next trophy. And the name of that trophy was Rocket Racer. And how I got this trophy is by firing 5 rockets in one lap. I also did this on the level Country Speedway. And still kind of with the theme of the rockets, my next trophy was called A Bird in the Hand. And how I got this trophy is by paying for the freedom of a character called Sergeant Bird, who was also new to this game. Sergeant Bird though seems like a bit of a liar to me, because he said he couldn't escape because he was saving his rockets, but yet you can fire off 1,000,000 rockets and nothing happens. Whether he tells the truth or not, he managed to get me my next trophy called Bird Bombs. And to get this trophy, all you have to do is bomb all the treasure chests located in Sergeant Bird's homeworld. I know it's a bit of a kid's game, but this is weird. He's a firefly, but Sparks is a firefly, but the two of them are completely different. Firefly or no, he still leads me to my next trophy called Tucked In for a Long Slumber, which I got for defeating a character called Sleepyhead in the level Spooky Swamp. While rescuing some of these dragons, they surely to Christ have some references to people, like this one. This trophy I got next was not a reference, and it was called Bottled Curiosity. And all I did to get this trophy was follow a question mark bottle until the end of its journey. I did that in real life once. Never again. This next trophy I did not do in real life, and it is called Balloon Buster. While in the level Enchanted Towers, all you have to do is pop all the balloons in that level. I know it's a bit insane, I know. And the next trophy that I managed to acquire was One Small Step for Dragon. How I got this trophy is by moving the transport from Midday Gardens to another area. And before I did travel to the next world, I took a small detour to get this next trophy called No Dragon Lunch Today, which I got for defeating this Giga Chad bad of a mini boss that the sorceress sent my way. And once I got to the next world, the sorceress apprentice had a change of heart and now she wants to be a good guy. I move on anyways to get my next trophy called Twin Dragon Destruction. And how I got this trophy is by defeating 2 metal dragons that regenerate while flying around a little area. Speaking of a small area, the next trophy I managed to get was called A Small Cost to Bear. And how I managed to unlock this trophy is by paying a small price to free a new character in this game called Bentley, who is a Yeti. And as playing as Bentley, I managed to get my next trophy called Its Totem Destruction. And how I got this trophy is by destroying all the totems that Bentley had placed in his world. And while I was away playing as Bentley, the best part of the game happens here where Hunter gets captured. And unfortunately, I can't leave him captured. And speaking of unfortunate, this name is unfortunate, but it also reminds me of something, but I can't put my finger on it. That doesn't matter, it's a silly name anyways. But the next trophy I got wasn't silly. And the name of the trophy was called A Dozen Cold Ones. And all you have to do to get this trophy is use your freeze breath 12 times on enemies. Also in that same level, we find out something interesting about Bentley. He's not a Yeti and he's somehow a boxer. I heard he's Logan Paul's next boxing match. But on to the next trophy that I managed to unlock called The Harder They Fall. And all you have to do to get this trophy is defeat a giant while in Charmed Ridge. The cat wizard will make him big so you can defeat him. Back to a flying level to get this next trophy called Real Star Power. And it's similar enough to the other trophy, but this time you have to go through 12 star speed boosts in one race. The next trophy I managed to acquire was a continuation on from another one called One Giant Leap for Dragonkind. And this trophy once again is just using the transport balloon from Evening Lake to go somewhere else. Once again I make a little detour to get my next trophy, which was called Scorched. And to get this trophy was fairly simple. It was just another mini boss battle with Scorched. It's such a stupid name. Speaking of stupid, Hunter gets released from the cage he was trapped in. And we're not done with the stupid yet because Moneybags is back to give me my next trophy, which was called That Monkey's Gonna Make Them Pay. And how you get this trophy is just by paying that money hungry bear the money he wants to release a monkey called Agent 9, who once again is also new to this game. As playing as Agent 9, I got my next trophy called Someone Set Us Up the Bomb. Other than me having to read this trophy like 4 times and make sure I got it right, how you get this trophy is by shooting down all the balloons in Agent 9's lab. And then I was back at Spyro to get my next trophy called Vanishing Act. And how I acquired this trophy is just by defeating all the crystal bears in the level Crystal Island. Imagine getting to a world and they're just like, here, defeat all these enemies, and then by the end of it they're just like, and here's a riddle for you. If you don't get it, tough shit. And I know it's not a very hard riddle, but that's not the point. And on to my next trophy, which was called A Sarcophagi Kinda Guy. And it's fairly simple to get this trophy. All you have to do is defeat all the sarcophagi as Spyro in the level Haunted Tomb. The next trophy sounded hard, but it wasn't, and it was called Nice Shooting Text. And how I got this trophy was by playing by Agent 9 and ricocheting a bullet off something to hit an enemy. Managed to catch this thing doing an Irish jig, and I should know because I used to do Irish jigs. But now I get trophies, and the next trophy I managed to get was called Butterfly Hunter. And it's quite easy to get this trophy. All you have to do is hunt down the 2 butterflies in the level Desert Ruins. While still hunting for trophies, the next one I got was called Hunt for Hunter. And all you have to do is find Hunter on Harbour Speedway. Just talk to him or something. I was hoping I could tranquilize him. And then we're on to the final boss of this game, the Sorceress. And then I got the trophy Sorceress Down, and this was for defeating the Sorceress because she had no more mini bosses to use. Luckily enough, before she completely fell into the lava, she managed to fire an egg at me. The next trophy was my personal favourite, and it was called 8,000 Reasons to Kick Butt. And how I acquired this trophy is by chasing down that money hungry bear and getting all my 8,000 gems back off him. The next trophy I got wasn't as interesting, but it was called Man the Cannons, man. And how I acquired this trophy is by shooting down all the vultures in Lost Fleet with the cannon. The next trophy I got was called Head in the Clouds. And all I did to get this trophy was glide for 5 seconds and land safely in Cloud Spires. For these last few trophies, the character I play as wasn't Spyro, and he's not new to the game. We've seen him through all of them, and he is Sparks. And the first trophy I got as Sparks was called Who's Your Crawdaddy? All you have to do is defeat the Crawdad King in Crawdad Farms. I don't know how the Crawdad King captured a dragon egg considering it is absolutely massive. The next trophy that I managed to secure was called Web Be Gone. And once again, as Sparks, all you have to do is defeat the Spider King in Spider Town. On to the next trophy I managed to get, which was called Manta Eraser. And how I got this trophy once again is just by defeating the boss Manta Ray in Starfish Reef. And now for the last trophy before the platinum, and you won't believe what it was for. It was called Debugging. And once again, playing as the heroic Sparks, all you have to do is defeat the Metapede. And then like clockwork, the platinum trophy finally pops for this game. And that's it for this video, guys. I hope you all enjoyed my platinum journey, and I hope to see you in the next one, and have a great day.